Hello everybody and welcome to Impact. I'm Nick Barber, your host for the government segment. And our host today is Angelo Santabarbara. Angelo is the New York State Legislator Assemblyman for the 111th Assembly District.
Yes.
111. We like that number.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome Angelo.
Thank
Good
you
to
for
see
having
you.
me.
Yeah.
It's great to be here.
We have a lot to talk about. We're not strangers. We know each other
Yes,
from the past, government service and all. And social fraternal organizations.
Yes.
It's great that you took your time to come here. You just came out of a recent election, victorious. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know it's tough. You know, it's no fun. Elections are tough. They're difficult. You meet nice people, but it's a lot of work.
They're a
lot of
work.
Anticipation. Politics is not easy. But we congratulate you on your victory.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I think what we'd like to do is tell people a little about your background, if I could start off.
Yeah.
You're a first-generation Italian-American. We talked about that before the interview.
Yep.
And there's some real attributes to that. We can talk about that in a minute. You're residing in the town of Rotterdam, and you and your wife have 2 children.
That's right, yeah.
Yep. And after high school, you went into the U.S. Army Reserves. You earned a Bachelor of Science degree from CHNNELLS, Albany. And you're a professional engineer. And Angelo was elected to the Schenectady County Legislature in 2007. You were the chairman of the Transportation Committee. And you served on the county legislature for 5 years,
5 years. Yep.
5 years. And you serve on the board of directors of the Autism Society for the Greater Capital Region. And you also have a cheese-making company. Is it Santabarbara cheese?
Santabarbara cheese, yep.
Cheese. And you donate all your profits to local children's charities. So that's
I actually started that little business. My son, as some people may know, was diagnosed with autism at age 3.
3 years old.
And I got involved with the Autism Society and doing some awareness for the autism community.
Yes.
And one of the things I wanted to do, as you said, my parents are from Italy. I'm a first generation here.
Yes.
We grew up in the Mount Pleasant area of Schenectady.
So did I. I'm a third generation.
Okay. And one of the things they brought back with them was the food making, the homemade food making.
Yes.
And they used to make this cheese growing up, and it's a tradition that we kept with us.
That's the nice thing.
Yeah.
I've watched your show. I love the recipes and the history and tradition behind it. You know.
Yeah, I really took to all the things they showed me growing up as a kid, and later on in life I remembered, and you know, we started making the cheese, and the cheese, somehow the word got out, and people wanted to try the cheese, and I had no problem making it. And I figured, why not? This might be a nice little hobby. Donate some money to the Autism Society for a good cause.
Absolutely.
Start a little company, and you know, kind of as it sells, we make more, and it all goes for a good cause.
That's wonderful. That's great. You are also the commander of AMVETS Post 35 in Rotterdam. And this year you were elected New York State Assembly to be the first assemblyman to represent the newly created district.
Yes.
That's the 111th.
Yes.
That includes Montgomery, Schenectady, and Albany counties.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah.
They actually put a little piece of Albany County in there.
Yeah.
Towns of Bern and Knox.
Yes.
All of Montgomery County, and my legislative district when I was in the county legislature, the towns of Rotterdam, Princetown, and Duanesburg, and of course now we have part of the city in the Assembly District. We did before, but it's a little bit different now.
Yeah, so you expanded out from your original county legislative district.
Yeah, it was an honor to serve on the county legislature. The 5 years I spent there working on a lot of issues to help quality of life, a lot of things, bring a lot of economic development, job creation to Schenectady County, and I hope to continue those initiatives from the state legislature now in the Assembly, and I'm still going to work with the local governments, such as the county legislature here in Schenectady, and just try and take on some bigger issues, try and do some more from that level of government.
Yeah, well, it was great background and a basis for your progression in government, you know, local government, you know, town, village, city, county, and then the next level is the state. So it's a natural progression for you, and I'm sure you've got a lot of skills and knowledge that you learned on the county legislature that will help you understand local issues in the New York State Legislature. Why don't we talk about some of the things that you're doing? What committees are you serving on now?
Well, I was assigned 5 committees, and one of the committees that I requested was the Veterans Committee, and I was very happy to be on that. As you know, I served out of high school in the Army Reserves.
Yes.
I was down in Fort Leonard, Missouri for my training. It was quite an experience.
Right.
I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yep.
But I did.
That's something we never forget.
Yeah, it's quite an experience.
Really, you never forget it.
Yeah,
it's like your high school graduation or so. You're not going to forget it.
It's true.
Yeah.
And you know, you meet people that from all across the country. You train with them.
Right.
You're a group, and by the time you're done with training, you're like family. You
yeah.
know? And you never forget those experiences.
It's great. When I was down in Lackland in basic training, Air Force, Air National Guard.
Yeah.
Remember Leave It to Beaver?
Sure, yes.
Jerry Mathers,
yeah.
the Beaver.
Yeah.
He was in the Air National Guard. He was down there at Lackland Air Force Base.
Oh, my goodness.
But he was a week behind me, you know. So these are things that just
That's
sticks out in
something,
my mind.
yeah.
I don't know how many years. That was a long time. I'm older than you are. But to remember those things and the people you meet and the experiences.
Yeah.
Well, you serve your country. Thank you. And
yeah,
appreciate it. It's great that you're on the Veterans Committee because you have sponsored legislation for veterans organizations.
Yes.
Which is in connection with the real property tax law.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, if you would?
There's a piece of legislation that I've actually co-sponsored that involves exempting, giving municipalities an option to exempt organizations like VFW or military service-related organizations, giving them the option if they want to take that part of the building or the structure that they, the VFW keeps coming to mind in Rotterdam.
Yes.
If they wanted to give them a tax exemption for their building or parts of their building, they can do that.
Yeah.
So this is it's things like this where, our veterans need help. They've served our country. We want to do what we can to make things a little easier for them. They do a lot of things. They do scholarships. That money all goes to good use. They're a nonprofit.
Yes.
So anything that we can do to say thank you, to help them back, to help them after they've served, we certainly want to do that, and I want to make sure that issues like this that make their lives a little bit easier, make things a little easier for them, I want to make sure that I'm there. Being on the Veterans Committee, I'm going to make sure I'm looking out for our veterans.
I think that's terrific. As a former real property tax director, county government, I can understand that. So the partial exemption, they call it a partial exemption, would be probably at the local option. Then if you pass it in the state, then you're giving them the state authority to pass a local option for these exemptions.
Exactly.
And I guess what it comes down to, we talked before, like say if a Veterans Hall, VFW, American Legion rents out a room and they get $75 for it or something, a couple times a year, assessors could look at it and say, whoa, you got income, so you're not going to get the exemption. And really that's sort of sad, know, because it is a veterans organization. Any money that they bring in really goes to veterans causes, whether it's members of their organization or families or other veterans issues. So that's good legislation. That's a great idea.
They do a lot of good things in the community.
Yeah,
and again,
it's a good idea.
We want to make sure we're paying attention to our veterans, and things like this really make a difference.
It's not a significant impact to other taxpayers. It's minuscule, too.
No, exactly.
So that's really good. I wish you good luck, and I hope that passes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so what other things are you working on, or what other goals do you have in mind in the New York State Legislature?
Well, as I said before, economic development and job creation is very important right now.
Which you were very involved in on the county legislature.
Yes, and bringing back local jobs to the area. When I was campaigning across the district through Montgomery County, Schenectady County, Albany County, it was pretty much the theme was the same. People want local jobs. They don't want to have to travel. We live in the Northeast. Sometimes the roads are bad. There's to have to travel an hour to work, that's less time you have with your family.
We don't have the subways like in New York City.
We don't.
Yeah,
we don't.
We got to drive. Everything here it's 20 minutes from here. It's an hour from here.
Exactly.
Instead of 3 stops on the subway. If you don't have a car, you're in pretty sad shape.
Exactly.
Upstate, or some other transportation.
And those are the things that people have a hard time with. And
yes.
It really is a hardship for people. I mean, you want to provide for your family.
Yes.
Local jobs really mean a lot. Keeping families together, that's what it means. More time at home, more time in your own community, spending time in your community.
Yes.
It means all of those things. So that's been a priority of mine. It will continue to be a priority of mine. To bring back those local jobs through economic development efforts, and I'm going to be looking for legislation and things that I can get involved with to make sure that we bring those jobs back to the 111th Assembly District.
Yes.
As we talked about, the veterans are very important to me. I do have a website on the Assembly.
Why don't we mention it? We'll try to put it up on the screen.
On the Assembly the Assembly page, you can get to the New York State Assembly.org, and through there is a member section where you can find me.
Okay.
You can find me, and you can find my Assembly member page, and through there, there's a lot of information. One of the things I've just added on there is a link to the Veterans Job Bank.
That's
and
good.
I encourage veterans to go on there and explore that. And what it does is it helps our veterans. You know, while you're in the service, as you know, you develop a special set of skills and qualities, and we try and match those up to jobs that are available. Just trying to make it a little easier to help our veterans when they come back or when they're looking for employment, to help them match up with jobs that fit them and jobs that they may be uniquely qualified for. So I encourage people to visit the Assembly website, get on my member page. There's a lot of other information on there as well, but that's something that's brand new that I've been trying to put out there, and I wanted to mention.
So they go to New York State. Is it all spelled out? New York State or NYS? What's the New York State Assembly.org?
New York State Assembly.org.
It's spelled out. New York State Assembly.org.
Yes. Yep. That's right.
And then go to member section. Angelo, Santabarbara, 111th District.
Yep.
And then you have all of these other sub.
If you go through, there's a member home section. They can go through and they can find out where they're. It will actually tell you. It will actually tell you if you're in a different district, who your member is, and where you can find them, and district office and contact information.
Okay, we'll try to get that up on the screen.
It's actually, I'm sorry, the website www.assembly.state.ny.us.
All right, we'll get that down.
Yeah, so maybe we can flash that up on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Let's see, what else were you working on? Oh, you had some income taxes or
tax season is here. Tax season is here.
Everybody wants to save a buck, I mean, legitimate and legally. So help for income taxes. You talked about some new deductions and some income tax tips.
Yeah.
How can you?
Well, I guess the overall, and you'll find this information on my website as well. Just want to let people know that, I know we all go through it every year. Forms change. It's just, it's a really daunting task to go through it every year to prepare your tax forms.
Yes.
Want people to know that there's help available. They should go on the website. There's a section there for tax help for this season. They can go through and find out. There's services available for people if they qualify for free tax services. There's areas in Montgomery County, in Albany County, and in Schenectady County where they can get their taxes. They may be able to get their taxes prepared free of charge.
Yes.
So they should definitely check that out. Also, what I wanted to mention is the Earned Income Tax Credit. Working families may qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit, which helps you save money when you file your taxes. It puts money back in your pocket. And as we know, the economy is still not back yet. And the working families in our area, every little bit helps.
Absolutely.
This is one more thing.
Yes.
It's worth it to check it out, see if you qualify.
Okay.
And then look at the various locations that are listed on there to see if they can get their taxes prepared and maybe able to save a little money on their tax.
That's great
as well.
That's very important. Thank you. I was thinking, about your progression in public office, county legislature to the assembly. There's a leap, from local government when you get into state government, you go to Albany. What's it like when you're a newly elected, and you're not newly elected because you've been in an office for a bit, but when a new assembly person first goes to Albany after the election, what happens? How are you introduced? How do you learn? What are your impressions, You see the $1 Million Staircase, you see the legislature, and you go, oh, wow, what do I do now? Like it was the Robert Redford, I remember the movie, it was called The Candidate. And Robert Redford got elected to the United States Senate. Bill, what was the character's name? Bill, it'll come back to me. But anyway, he got elected, and then at the end of the movie, it was like he faded out, and he goes to his advisor, so what did he say? What do I do now? I'm elected. So what's it like when you're, not you or anyone, is a new legislator and you go over there? What kind of introductions and help and knowledge, training, what happens?
There are resources available. There's a lot of people available to ask questions, to help. But mainly the thing is, what I try to do is before I got to January 1st.
It was Bill McKay, Robert Redford.
Oh, okay.
In that movie, The Candidate. Bill McKay was the senator that was running. But anyway, I interrupted you.
So what I try to do is figure out where to go to do certain things, you know, where the bill drafting section is.
Right.
You know, try to figure out things.
You want to go to the sausage factory.
Well, you want to find out.
To see how it's made, how it's all done?
Well, you want to find out where, when you need certain things, where you can go, learn the process, learn how you know, to do things efficiently up there before you get up there and get into it and find yourself that you have to do something and you don't know the next step.
Right.
So I tried to get acclimated. I visited there. I walked around. I found out what all the different departments were, where the committees meet,
right.
Where the you know where all the various you know joint meetings are held,
right.
And get all that down so that when it came time to actually start doing the work, that's all out of the way, and you have a good idea of where to go and where things need to be done. And you're trying. There's a lot that happens. We're going through the budget right now.
Yes.
A lot is happening all at once.
Yes.
So it's good to get all those little things out of the way so that you can concentrate on your work, concentrate on working on the budget and other things that come through across your desk on a daily basis.
Yeah, you're by no means a novice. I'm just, you know, just in general, I was thinking about you know, like, do they assign a mentor to new legislators? Do people take you under their wing? And
there's other members there, just like at the county. There's other people, other legislators there that certainly your colleagues. And
of course,
always there as a resource.
So there's always a lot of help.
Yeah.
You know, I saw an article I wanted to mention. It was nice of you. You know, I know you have an affection not only for veterans but children, having two of your own. You were at the Fonda Fultonville fourth graders when they presented Valentine's Day cards to veterans, and it was in the Gazette recently, and that's in the Amsterdam area, and that was American Legion Command 701, and that was to give fellow veterans at the Stratton VA Hospital. So that's nice. A picture of Angelo, Santabarbara with the school children and the veterans.
The children really.
That was a nice thing. The children really are impressive.
They enjoyed.
So it's important.
They wrote little messages in those Valentines. We brought them. We brought them there. We weren't sure what we were going to get back, but they wrote little messages like "Thank you for your service."
There's one that was quoted. Zoe Leonard. "Thank you, veterans, for saving our country and helping to keep it free." And that was Zoe Leonard, Fonda Fulton Elementary Schools. Fourth grade. That was a Valentine. That had to be heartwarming.
And we delivered those to the VA hospital. It really meant a lot. It really meant a lot to receive those, to know that there's children thinking about our veterans.
Well, that's great. You keep up the good work. We're visiting with Angelo Santabarbara, New York State Assemblyman for the new 111th Assembly District. We just got a little bit of time left. Is there anything that we missed that you'd like to tell the people?
Well, I would like to direct people to my website. All the legislation that I have either sponsored or co-sponsored will be on there. It's people can get updates on what I'm doing, things that are coming up in the Assembly they may want to talk to me about. It's a great way to contact me. My contact information is at the bottom. So I would encourage people, and we'll flash that website up. I would encourage people to visit that if they want to get a hold of me. There's my email and correspondence that comes into my office. I do review it personally. And I will get back to you. Even if it's not right away, I will respond back, and I will get back to and all the issues.
It's a big district. You represent a lot of people, so people have to be patient. You know, but I know that you're diligent in doing that, and you will get back.
And the other committees, I'm on the Agriculture Committee, Energy, Governmental Employees, Small Business, and of course Veterans. So those are the committees that I'm on. I'm happy to be a part of all of those because I think they represent all the different sectors in my in the 111th Assembly District. So I'm happy to have this opportunity to serve, and I look forward to serving the residents and working towards doing things that matter.
Great. We know you're going to do a terrific job in representing your district. We've been visiting with Angelo Santabarbara. We want to thank him for taking time out of your busy schedule to come here on Impact. And he represents the 111th Assembly District. Lots to talk about. We hope that you come back again.
I will.
So we can continue and let us know what's going on over there in the Capitol.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Angelo, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You've been watching Impact. I'm Nick Barber, your host. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Proctors, bringing the best in arts, education, and entertainment.